Okay, now the next bill on the agenda is House File 5224, also from Chair Nelson. Would you like to move your bill?
I'll move House File 5224 for possible inclusion.
Thank you, Chair Nelson. Please explain your bill.
Again, this is our housekeeping changes to the Bureau on the Office of Combatants. I get my words here straight. And regulations in the Department of Labor and Industry. And with me, I have a testifier to explain the bill. Madam Chair.
Thank you. I believe you have a testifier.
Yep.
Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Good afternoon, Chair Berg and members of the committee. My name is Kate Prushek, and I am Deputy Commissioner at the Department of Labor and Industry. Pleased to be here with you today to testify on behalf of the Department's Supplemental Budget Bill, House File 5224. This bill includes changes that modify the Contractor Recovery Fund and Office of Combative Sports statutes. The first will result in an increase in expenditures out of the Contractor Recovery Fund, and the second is budget neutral to the general fund. The Contractor Recovery Fund, which is funded by a fee on residential building contractor licenses, compensates owners or lessees of residential property in Minnesota who have suffered an actual and direct out-of-pocket loss due to a licensed contractor's fraudulent, deceptive, or dishonest practices. The proposal before you today enhances the effectiveness of the Contractor Recovery Fund by increasing the amount of funds available to compensate homeowners who have suffered a financial loss. The maximum amount a homeowner can receive from the Contractor Recovery Fund per application is currently $75,000. This proposal would increase the maximum amount a homeowner can receive to $100,000. Increasing the maximum payout will allow homeowners to recover more of their out-of-pocket loss when a licensee fails to perform their contractual obligation. DLI projects that this change will result in an additional $228,000 being paid out of the Contractor Recovery Fund each year. The Contractor Recovery Fund carries a balance of $9.4 million, and the projected increased expenditures from this change are not expected to negatively impact the health of the fund. The combative sports changes in House File 5224 include technical fixes to the law that passed last year, such as adding rule sets for Muay Thai, allowing alternative rule sets for kickboxing, and clarifying that while youth events aren't regulated by the Office of Combative Sports, they must be regulated by a third party. In addition, proposed changes add basic experience requirements for individuals looking to be licensed as a combatant. These requirements will ensure that the Office of Combative Sports is licensing individuals who have been properly trained to safely compete at both the amateur and professional level. The bill amends the event fee calculation to accommodate promoters who pay a flat venue fee but who do not sell any tickets. This budget neutral change in the fee schedule will ensure that promoters are all paying the same amount based on the percentage of revenue they make, either through the sale of tickets or through flat rate contractual agreements. Finally, the bill allows the Office of Combative Sports to share a combatant's medical information with the physician conducting pre-bout exams and the ringside physician if needed to better protect the health of the combatant. Thank you for the opportunity to testify. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Deputy Commissioner.
And Madam Chair, I think there's an amendment here. I believe that is from Representative McDonald.
Correct. So the A1 amendment from Representative McDonald, would you care to move and explain your amendment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I'll move the A1 amendment and explain the amendment. It's a simple amendment, page 7, line 4. After the comma, insert, and the combatant has provided prior authorization. And perhaps it's not necessary, but I'll let the Commissioner verify. But our concern was, and the reason this was drafted, is that we believe that through HIPAA laws that the combatant should probably have permission to give to the coaches his or her health medical records before disclosing that from one coach to the other.
Is that a question?
It's both a question and an explanation of the amendment. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Wonderful. Deputy Commissioner.
Thanks, Representative McDonald, for the question. Yes, we do require and would require prior authorization before sharing medical information. So it would be that there's a data practices notice on the application for licensure that indicates that certain data may be disclosed. And if this bill were to pass, we would even more explicitly state that that would include medical information collected as part of that application.
Follow up?
Madam Chair, so Commissioner, this amendment, in your expert opinion, is not necessary.
Deputy Commissioner.
Madam Chair, that would be correct, yes.
Madam Chair, then I will withdraw the A1 amendment.
Okay. All right, well, with that withdrawn, discussion to the bill. Oh, Representative Myers.
Thank you, Chair Berg. This question's for the testifier. You had talked about it was $9.1 million in that General Contractors Recovery Fund. I'm wondering, is that, those funds are available both for homeowners? Is that also the fund that they use for wage theft?
Deputy Commissioner.
So it's, thank you, Madam Chair. That fund is explicitly to compensate homeowners who have suffered a financial loss at the hands of a licensed residential building contractor, and does not pertain to wage theft, if I'm understanding the question correctly.
Okay, yep, that's the only question I had. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Lead McDonald.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, regarding that same topic, on that you're increasing it from $75,000 to $100,000, what if the contractor or the subcontractor is not licensed and there still is a mistake? Does that homeowner have the opportunity still to collect from that contractor's recovery fund?
Deputy Commissioner.
Madam Chair, Representative McDonald, unfortunately, no. The contractor fund is only available to homeowners who have used a licensed residential contractor.
Follow up?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So then, also, if there is an issue and the homeowner is subject to some payment from the contractor recovery fund, can that homeowner also, under the law or this change, sue the contractor for the mistake or error that was made in the home building?
Deputy Commissioner.
Representative McDonald, Madam Chair. So the process is they actually, in order to access the contractor recovery fund, they have to obtain a judgment. So they have to obtain a final judgment, which is the result of filing a successful lawsuit or filing a settlement agreement. And then they have to document their judgment in district court and makes the judgment a legally collectible document. So then, if DLI approves the payment, the homeowner assigns its rights to the portion of judgment that DLI has agreed to compensate the homeowner, and then if the approved payouts exceed the amount available for payments, DLI prorates the amount.
Anything further?
Madam Chair, no, I don't think so. There was a case in my district that a homeowner had issues with mold and sickness and allergies, and was working very hard to get the contractor to pay and or recover some funds from this very fund. And I think they were eventually successful, but it was many years and an arduous process for them. Not necessarily anything against Dolly, but it was very tough for them. She met with me often for 2 or 3 years in district regarding this issue. And I think eventually they did receive some funds from that recovery fund, but it was a tough go for them to get that in the first place. So I just wanted to hear a little bit more about that. So thank you.
Any further discussion to the bill? Seeing no further discussion, Chair Nelson.
I'll renew my motion. Madam Chair, that House File 4224 be laid over for possible inclusion.